the last year or two, I let it go, and, you know, I own it.
Okay, how about the siding on the house?
The siding on the house, the whole siding on the house is good, it's exception of the front. What happened is, we used to have a front porch on there, and because of, the flooring, it went down, so we took it off. And when we took it off, it left, spaces where the siding was, and then what happened was the wind caught underneath and took a lot more of that front siding off. And this was my question to you. The rest of the siding is really nice on the house. All I need to do is power wash it. I was thinking of either doing two things, trying to match the siding of the rest of the house, or put as close color as I can on the front, or I was thinking of this, taking all the siding off the front of the house and painting it. Would that be satisfactory for the town?
I suppose, but you still, have to put something where the siding is gone.
I plan on taking all the siding off the front and sand it down nicely and then paint it, if that's my option. My first option is to try to match the siding of the rest of the house.
Yeah.
The rest of the house is fine, it's just where that wind has caught the front and tore it off.
Gotcha. And then, how about, are there windows damaged or missing?
There are one front window. What happened is, I don't want to get into details, but the neighbor, it broke. I have a big bay window, okay? And then on my big bay window, there are two smaller windows that protect the gigantic bay window. Well, one of the bay windows, one of the protecting bay windows is still there. The other one is missing. Now I can take the other one off, and then I'll have my big bay window intact. The only thing is, then I have to worry about if debris hits that window, because it's the original to the reason why my wife and I bought the house is because it's all original. We wanted to keep it original. Now I can take that one window off, and then there would be no windows missing. I would like to put another protector one on there. That'd be my first option. If my finances will not allow it, then I will take the other one off and just have the original big bay window to the house there. The one that's actually missing is a protected window, but it is missing.
Is that, if he can't get it replaced, can he, I don't understand you.
I didn't mean to interrupt you. I buy and sell stuff for a living, and the winter's tough for me, the summer months are better for me. Actually, last week, I met a gentleman that I've known for a long time that owns a window replacement company, and we did talk briefly about him coming down and giving me an estimate for that window, and there is one other window towards the back that needs to be fixed.
Okay.
I do plan on fixing them. I cannot give you, I would not be honest with you if I could give you a time frame, because it's all about finances for me, but I do plan on getting it rectified.
So the town council is the one that decides on like additional time and what can and can't be done to the satisfaction of the building commissioner. So they heard all of that, and so I'll let them chime in with how they want to proceed.
How you bring the building into compliance isn't really for the town to say, just so you bring it into compliance, one way or another, however you choose, just so it's brought into compliance within the building code.
I see.
So, could you have most of this done in 2 months, 3 months?
See, it would be disingenuous to me to give you a time frame. I could do it in 3 weeks if my business was good enough, or it might take me 4 or 5 months, depending on how my sales go, because I don't work at a 9-to-5 job, get X amount of money each week, where I know how much money my paycheck is coming in to budget my money. It all depends on how my market is. What I would like, if permission to ask the board, is if I can try to do it at least step by step and come each month and give the board an upgrade of what I've been accomplishing. Like my first goal, which doesn't cost me as much finances, is get the yard looking respectable. And I spent the last 3 days doing that, and I've got like 80%. Then my next goal is to get the windows done, because that will be the least expensive. The garage and the front siding is just gonna be a little bit harder for me.
I will make a motion that we give him 30 days and come back in 30 days and review, make good progress
Yes, sir.
over the next 30 days.
Yes, sir.
As long as you're making and showing us progress and willing to work with us, we're willing to work with you.
I appreciate that. I
And
really
we'll
do.
just set it for monthly reviews like he asked, and we'll see how we go. And as long as we make progress,
Well, I want my property to be proud. I mean, like I said, I've been there 25 years. I know that's irrelevant, but
well, it is relevant.
I like it here. I've never had any issue. This is the first time I've been to the meeting. I've never come to a meeting, complained about anything. I've never had, what they shut and everything. One time, I never had the law come to my house. I've pretty much been, a pretty good staple in the community.
Well, as long as you make progress and you work with us, we'll work with you.
I really appreciate it,
I'll
sir.
make that motion. Do we have a second? Second. All in favor? Opposed?
So that's April 21st. They meet on the third Monday of the month.
Mondays are good days for me. Thank you. Yes, sir.
All right, thank you for coming.
I pause. So I'm gonna get the yard done, and then when I come back, if I get the windows done, that will show at least some.
Just show us progress.
Show you progress, all
And
right?
even if for some reason you can't make progress,
I'm gonna make sure I make progress.
then come to the meeting and tell us what's going on.
Yes, sir. No, it's gonna get done. It's just like I said, it's a matter of finding. If I had to find it, I'd like it all done in 2 weeks, because I want it done nice too. I appreciate y'all working with me. Thank you very much. God bless y'all.
Next one is 129 West Prairie Street. We were gonna get a status report on this lawsuit. Did that get heard yet, or on the 25th maybe?
So the eviction was scheduled for tomorrow. That hearing was vacated pending the outcome of the hearing on the 25th. I'm gonna see what I can do to have, I've been fighting consolidation to avoid prolonging the eviction. Given the circumstances, I'm gonna work on go ahead and having it consolidated so we can do both on the 25th. There are, I guess, as far as progress on the lawsuit, there's a series of admissions that were just granted, deemed admitted, which I think go to the ultimate heart of the issue. So I'm confident in the resolution that we're seeking to get the ultimate ownership determined of this home. Nonetheless, I know that previously there was an inspection to be done on the home. I'm not really sure if that was completed, because Mr. Battering had indicated that the repairs may have been completed.
If you had an opportunity to inspect it,
I went through it today.
what did you think?
Well, they're doing a bunch of work on the front porch, on the ceiling, and putting new wood in, and so we just have to finish that. It's all open right now.
Are you ready to release it, or do you need
Yeah.
more time until that's complete? Okay. And now, Mr. Batter,
Why would it not be released?
it sounds like your work isn't done.
I mean, why? So what's not done is the soffit and stuff on the porch is not there, but it's an open porch. It's not like, there's 4 on that street with an open porch. I mean, there's no ordinance saying that it has to have a ceiling and a porch that you can't see much on the porch. Why would there have to be a porch? So when they done the roof on it, there's stuff that they done on the roof that's got to be tore back down sooner or later when we figure out who owns it. So whatever we put up there, whether they put it up or I put it up, it's going to get tore back down. See what I'm saying? So it makes no sense for anybody putting anything up there. But as far as the building, as far as ordinance goes, structure, there's no problem. The roof's done. There's no ceiling in the porch. But like I said, there's 4 on that street without ceilings in the porch. There's 14 in town. We drove around the building. So it's not like it's an ordinance that has to be there. So I don't understand why it wouldn't be released.
Well,
It's
if
not.
that's the case, you'd have to put a front door on it so that birds can't get in it,
Front door
on the front porch.
it's an open porch. There's no way of putting a door on an
Then you're
open
gonna
porch.
have
It's wide open.
varmints in there,
In where?
on your front porch. Because if the ceiling's all open, there'd be birds flying up in there, two by four.
The whole thing is open. So the wall from the foundation all the way to the second story of the house is solid brick. There is a board that goes around that the rafters come off of. There's no way a varmint can get anywhere in there.
Rather than spend a lot of time sorting this particular issue out, why don't we just put a stay on this for 30 days until we figure out exactly who owns it, and then we'll deal with whoever the final owner really is. Does that seem reasonable?
Yes.
Do we have a fine in abeyance on this?
What was that? What was the question?
Do we have a fine in abeyance on this?
Yes.
It was 500.
Well, that was what we talked about, whether in June of 2024, that it was for each person or not. My note said $500 fine, health and abeyance, and your minute said $500 each to Dennis and Michael Manis and Marlon
That's when they,
For not showing up.
for not
Not
showing
showing
up.
They're out in the hallway.
I would continue to obey that fine and just continue this for 30 days, and then we can figure out who the owner is, and then that will narrow down who we have to negotiate with.
There's a $1,000 fine that was leaned on October 21st. But, and so as to the, so that's done. So as to the $500 fine, that's being, continued to be held in abeyance from June of last year. Nothing changed.
And when you talk about the 25th, you're talking about the 25th, this
March 25th.
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah. Yes.
So it's been moved to continue it for 30 days. We have a second. All in favor?
Thank you.
That's it. Okay, the next one is 411 West Jasper. That's Schultz. And you were gonna do one window needed replaced and the eave trough needed to be repaired?
Yep. Got
Yeah.
it, sir.
Were those done?
Yes, sir.
And is that ready to be released?
Yeah.
And motion to release the unsafe building order?
I'll make that motion.
It's been moved. We have a second. It's been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And then I had one more. Oh, I don't. So, last month, we had a couple that were gonna be heard in April, and they were to be served, and if they weren't served by today, I was gonna let Dylan know, and I've got one that was unclaimed that he needs to serve, which you can just have their certified mailing. You can hand it to him.
I'll get it for you.
So, that's all I'm gonna say, go orders.
Anything else, John?
No.
Financials, Tina?
at the end of February, in general, we ended with $398,563.82. Water operating, $63,157.96. Sewer operating, $258,464.34. And that gives us a grand total of $1,904,184.86.
That is Tina.
That is all I have.
Anybody have anything for Tina? Commissioners, yes.
Have our annual review.
So very similar to what we've always done, kind of go through everything. As far as property coverage, we've got a little over 14 million in building and contents. Special coverage form, replacement costs, just pick up equipment breakdown, and earthquake coverage. Savings and loan buildings, since EMC considers that unoccupied, they have to break it out separately. So that's why there's a separate amount there. Instead of being on replacement costs, it's on actual cash value. which would be subject to depreciation unless we get someone in there and a business like we had in the past, then we can put it back on the blanket. Policy does pick up $100,000 backup for sewer drains and then debris removal. If we lost a building, that debris removal will to get the bricks and frame, all the debris out of the way so we have the money left in the building to put the building back up again. Got a $5,000 property deductible, 10% earthquake deductible. Those are consistent with the past. The savings loan building, again, since it's unoccupied, it has a higher deductible of $10,000. We've got our equipment coverage and our police equipment. The case I went over with him, and Dylan had a copy of that, went over his list, and that should be accurate. It carries a lower deductible of $1,000. Our liability protects the town, like I said, the town of Goodland, its boards, elected officials, appointed officials, employees, will act in scope of duties, and volunteers. Liability picks up both the premises that we own and the products that we sell, the product being water. So that's covered. And then public officials, police professionals, employment practices will have a $5,000 deductible on that. It's a professional part you have, employee benefits, be it if you had health insurance, or you had any kind of benefit, and you get signed up and a claim happened, that would cover employment benefits. Also, liability picks up good stock in that event in the park. And then I work with that committee to pick up certificates from all the vendors, so we make sure we got the town covered and the vendors covered. As far as lots, we have the West Main Street, which is where the elevator used to be along that street, parallels the railroad track. We don't have any coverage on the building, but we have all the lots and the liability covered. And then the building that burnt last year, 105 Main Street, we have liability on that lot. My understanding is the town owns that building. Or that lot there. And then we also have where the old light tower was, that lot, the corner of Mill and James Street. Is there any other bare lots the town owns? So those are the only ones that I picked up.
Was that on Beacon?
Yeah. The pond is picked up.
Union and Newton.
Pardon?
Union and Newton, did you say that? The vacant grass lot that we sold half to the Mexican restaurant?
Where old Denny's Pharmacy used to be.
That's where the trees are.
And the bird habitat, is that what you're talking about?
Benton Prairie.
Benton Prairie?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be a wooded lot, Jim, and the first one, the Union and Newton will be a vacant lot, half lot.
That's on Iroquois Street. Across from Ashland Place.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. A big lot.
What about the ones on Garfield?
the list continues.
We have properties on Garfield, what is there? How many lots on Garfield?
You probably better stop in and get the addresses.
Yeah.
Eight
Big
lots.
lots on Garfield.
They probably don't have an address, they probably just have a corner out of it.
Most of them have it, well,
No physical address.
As long as I got a corner. So Eric Garfield, is it a corner of that? Is there an intersection?
North Garfield.
Okay, how about Iroquois?
Iroquois would be North Iroquois
And there's the barrel lots.
for now.
The light, it costs $4.
yeah.
But it's better to have them covered. There's a, kids get out there, so like, good for,
I'll shoot you a list.
okay.
And it's a lot, and I don't know what you want to cover. I don't want to do one thing on it, but
Yep. As far as the vehicles, we got the liability coverage on those. We got the 5 vehicles the town owns. Just a reminder, they all being entitled to town of Goodland, which all the titles I've seen so far they are. So we should be good there. The workers' comp picks up injuries to the employees. It does not cover volunteers. Volunteers liability coverage, they would have a medical reimbursement, have to be the med pay under the liability. Then we got your umbrella liability that sits on top of the autos and the premises liability. We got the cyber coverage that covers any kind of breach we might have. Biggest thing there is ransom, and we usually get caught, locking the machines up and then have to pay them to unlock them. Things to keep reminding is, we don't pick up the summer baseball program, but I'm working with that committee to get their liability. I'm just waiting on their rosters, so they're still have open enrollment. The Head Start's not covered by the town's policy, and there again, I get a certificate from them showing they have liability. We don't pick up amusement rides, fireworks shows, tractor pulling, we've had those in the past. We just get a special offense policy for them. No flood coverage, no pollution coverage. This reminder, all roofs over 15 years old will be at ACU or be depreciated. So go through those, and whenever we ever update a roof, we'll let you know, and then that changes the time frame again. Our property's all on a blanket basis, so we have some fudge room there from replacement costs, but we still fill out a statement of values, so we need to be close to what those are. One item I wanted to ask about there, it's been before COVID since the sewer plant or the water treatment plant has been looked at. I would like to have the company come out, because those two are just hard to identify what the replacement cost is on them. The only catch to that is they come out and it says it's $1.5 million, I gotta put $1.5 million on it. But at least we know we got coverage, but those are the two that generate the income for you, and those are the two I think are the most important. The water tower is easier to evaluate, because it's just by feet and height and what kind of top it has on it. But those two, the water treatment, with all the inflation we've had over the last few years with metal, especially pipes and that, I would suggest that maybe I contact them and have them come out, at least look at those two buildings, if that's okay with the board. The cyber notes there, that is critical for the cyber coverage. I've gone through that routine, and all of those either Ironclad's taken care of or really don't apply to us. The transfer of funds, we're doing that all through the bank, so the liabilities fall in the bank. We don't send funds electronically. And Tina's the only one that would authorize a transfer anyway, so we've got pretty good safeguards there. Then Ironclad, just an annual, when I talked to them a year ago, they said they could even put something together, just a webinar or something, but really told Tina, who's exposed to that, they would have that access. The last page I just broke out the different claims we have. We still got 2 open claims on liability. Of course, we had the water main, water break here in the community center in July. It has the cost there. We had 2 minor auto claims in the last 5 years. I broke out the property and the premiums, property liability, vehicles, umbrella, workers' comp, and cyber for the upcoming year versus the past year. Obviously, it's an increase, a little over $10,000. But we added a few things. We added a brand new tractor last year. The 2 open liability claims we have influences the liability. And then we had built up, we hadn't had any claims in property, and we had built up a 10% credit. But when we have the claim, we lose the credit. And then with the inflation, they had an 8%, they had shown 8% is what building materials and labor costs are in building for the year. So that added $1 million over our property from last year.
How long does it take us to, once again, attain the 10%?
It's about 2.5% a year you get credit for. And then I put just a list of all the buildings on the back. I visited all the locations, I talked to Case, and I think we should have everything listed there that we have.
Do you have a motion to renew?
Yeah, I'll make that motion.
You've made a motion to renew. Do we have a second? Moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Appreciate it, thank you.
Gentlemen, excuse me, I didn't mean to interrupt on that. I just wanted to say one thing noted. I did put a new roof on the house and on the garage. Did a complete tear off, new plywood, new wood, new shingles. It cost me 17 G's. I'm making loan payments on it. But I just wanted to be noted that I did do a major improvement
I
on
don't
it.
think you had any issues with the roof.
No, I just wanted to show some
You're
good
putting money
faith
into
that,
it. Yeah, I get that.
okay,
All right.
Thank you.
all right, you're welcome.
Does anybody have anything else you want to discuss with insurance? Fire department.
Since the last council meeting, there's been 11 fire calls, 15 EMS calls, and 4 mutual aid calls to Benton County. The department's air packs, Hearst rescue tools, and air bottle compressor for refilling and the mobile cascade have been inspected and recertified. The annual insurance with Hughes Associates, I thought maybe you would say it, but we just went through ours as well with them. Monthly training was conducted with Hearst Extrication, rescue tools, cribbing, and teamwork. 24 residential smoke detectors were provided to citizens in the community this past month. And this Wednesday, March 19th, myself and other chiefs and firefighters in the county and a couple from Benton and Jasper are going to be going out to Heritage FS for an inspection of their 30,000 gallon propane storage. So they've been in contact with me, and through phases we'll be going out doing inspections for pre-planning.
Is that the big tank by 55?
Yeah. Yeah, Wednesday I'll be going out there.
Is it?
Yep.
Anybody have anything for the fire department? Police department.
We had 20 for February, 20 calls. 8 were handled by the county, 7 by us, 5 were public service, 3 were handled by me, 4 by the deputies, no arrest, 1 ticket, and 8 ordinance violations. And actually, I do have 2 citations going out in the mail tomorrow for ordinance violations.
Is that it?
That is it.
Anybody have anything for Dylan? Street, water, and sewer.
For streets, we were awarded the community crossing grant. I spoke with Ken Smith today. We'll be starting the bid process immediately. We'll be opening bids prior to the April regular business meeting, so we can award in the April meeting. If that
When you
suits
say
the
prior, you
council.
mean just prior?
Yeah, he's gonna put the notice in the paper tomorrow, I think.
So like 6:30 or something?
Yeah.
Did the meeting start
Yeah.
this time?
We had an issue with the stop sign for a while now at Iroquois and Union. We did have it located right when it fell down, but it was in between 2 fiber optic lines, so we had a vac service come vac that. We have a new one installed there. For sewer, the only thing that's changed from last month is FJF Services has started on the Wayland lift station. They're about 50% done with that. In the next week or so, they will complete Wayland, and they would like to move straight to Union to fix that. If the one side of Union fails between now and then, that lift station's down, period. And we're trying to avoid putting a Band-Aid on it like we had to do Wayland until it's up and doing. On the water, we repaired a leak right by the town hall in North Benton. We'll be starting spring hydrant flushing in the upcoming weeks. We will notify the public via Facebook prior to doing so. We're preparing to perform restorations on a few water main dig sites as the weather improves. For parks, Yoder Hall and Drainage is planning to start the water/sewer line project at the ballpark this Thursday. They have locates called in, they will be completed by then. They will be moving to the Foster Park sewer project as soon as the ballpark is done. As soon as the bidders we'll have a pre-bid meeting for paving. That's when I plan on talking to those folks about getting a quote on the ballpark parking lot. Just to get an idea what it's gonna cost to bring that thing up to handicap compliance and paved. The only other thing I have is our seasonal employee will be returning to perform the mowing services for the season. That's all I've got.
We talked about a camera in the area of the buildings in the park, so that if someone went and tore up the restroom, we'd have an idea who did it. Where are we on that?
I have not explored any camera options up there yet. We do have the ability. We've got Wi-Fi up there. So it's just a matter of picking something that that fits us, but you're probably gonna wanna do it in more areas once we get that one up. And I don't know if we wanna do like a cloud-based camera, if we wanna do a central box that it all goes to. I'm assuming we wanna do cloud-based, it's pretty much everything's going to, and that's not my specialty, I have no clue what to pick. So if anybody has suggestions, let me know. Jake, you're shaking your head, so get with me. If you've got some good ones, and we'll figure it out, because you're probably gonna wanna end up doing it at the ballpark, if for nothing else, liability situation. And we've got several other locations in town, so.
Well, if Yoder gets the sewage all working, it'll be time to unlock the door for that restroom and make it available, so we probably ought to get that camera up right away.
Yep. I know I talked about that building being open. We're not gonna leave that open 24 hours, are we?
Wouldn't think so.
Probably something like Public Works open in the morning, police close it at night, or something along those lines.
Something like that. It'd be nice if somebody could take a look at it sometime in the middle of the day, so if it does get destroyed, we could
Yeah.
pinpoint the time.
Yep. I'll get with Jake on the cameras, that's all I've got.
And yeah, if you could get something installed in the
Yep.
next couple of weeks or so.
Probably need a couple.
Anybody have anything else for Dustin?
Is there very much lighting out there for them buildings?
Whatever lighting already existed at the park, probably not a lot.
Pretty good solar lights, don't cost that much.
Maybe we should, while we're doing the camera thing, get a dawn to dusk light or something like that.
We can do that.
Good idea. I have a Cape Iroquois Regional Planning. They've given us a bid of $3,500 to do the park plan as they do as the other company is doing our comprehensive plan. Make a motion that we approve this for Cripsy. It's moved and seconded, all in favor? Aye. This needs to be signed by the park board president. Who's the park board president? Who's picked?
I am.
You are? You need to sign it.
Okay.
I'll just set it right here. That brings us to attorney check.
I don't have anything new, I still owe you a lease. I haven't done that lease yet.
There's gonna be an MOU drawn up. Where are we on that?
He's waiting on it, and they're going to apply for a variance, a special exception, as soon as they can get that MOU.
Were we doing the MOU or are they doing the
We were doing the MOU, and I was doing the economic development agreement at the same time, but not sharing it with them. And it's half drafted, half not drafted. The part about the assessed value, if it changes, Baker Tilly referred to a problem that Benton County had with a drop in the assessed value after it depreciates a certain number of years, and it affected their payments, like if they sell off the project, and that language I kind of hung up on. So, I'll knock them out this week, Jim. I know I'm waiting on this.
Okay. Is the cutbacks that the federal government is doing, is that gonna cause any issues here?
No.
Okay. I like that. That's a good solid answer out of the attorney. I like that.
Well, because they're still chomping at the bit to get the MOU, and I want to give them the MOU when I get the EDA.
Okay. All right. Does anybody have anything else they want to discuss with council? John?
I don't know, the old concession stand there at the park is in need of a new roof.
Yeah, that was discussed last.
The red building,
Yeah.
is that the old concession stand? Yeah,
Or-
excuse
or
me, I don't know all the landmarks. I told Jim we have two things we can do. I think people like it for storage, so we can either take it down or we can metal it to match the other two buildings. Which I don't think we'd have to do much of a demo. I think you just metal right over everything that's there, but I'm not an expert on that, so.
Yeah, that's not a very big building. That wouldn't cost much to put another roof on that, would it?
No, I'd just assume metal the whole thing and make it look like the other buildings, and everything looks uniform up there.
What do you guys think?
A new concession stand.
I've already got one, John. And I have to have FBI come here and give me a quote on the building that burnt. So we'll just do both at the same time.
Okay. So, do you want him to just proceed with the metal on the park building, or do you want him to go get quotes? Get a quote? Okay, get quotes.
Got it.
Building burnt, what do you refer to there?
The hay storage building. Remember after a burn, I asked the council if, since we own that and we've got it cleaned up, if we could get some quotes to put a aggregate storage building there, open faced
Right
To-
beside the tower.
to the bank, so we have somewhere, we keep our salt and our stone and our sand all outside. So when people see things not get done in the winter sometimes, they ask, why isn't my hole filled back in all the way? Why haven't I done this and that? Well, everything's frozen out in a pile on the ground, and the salt depletes all winter long, every time it rains. So I just assumed if we already own that, and we can find some money to put a building up, we might as well get that stuff in. It kind of looks tacky out there next to the tracks anyway.
Then you can clean the corner up.
What?
Then you can clean that corner up over there.
You can. Somebody dumped all that before I got hired, John. You probably had something to do with that.
Yeah, I did.
Does
I'll help you
anybody,
clean it up.
Okay.
does anybody have anything else they'd like to
No.
discuss with the council? That concludes our agenda items. We'll be up here reviewing and signing claims. After that, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Save me a seat, Bill.
I'll just get, actually, I don't have your phone number.
So,
About to stop it.